Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
ISUPK, we out here in Baltimore, you know what I mean? We was having an amazing food and clothing drive out here, feeding the people, clothing the people, and getting love for the brothers and sisters out here.
But that was my nigga. Yeah. Under commanding General Yahanna. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth, this shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do His will, I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Amazing Yahanna don't like no soldiers. Through the Spirit of the Lord, we don't like no soldiers. You understand me?
Like the same. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ in their image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dreams. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the ISUPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under Yahanna, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from Yahanna. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí.
Lord Commandant General Yahanna na ISUPK.
This is what Commander General Yahanna did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig.
That's right.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. Hey, hey. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, 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 I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
I can tell you what it feels like when them problems kicking in. I call it real life. Now I'm feeling trapped. Who can I trust? Second guessing everything. Who can I love? I remember sleeping on the floor, ready for whatever. I was sleeping by the door. I was down bad, didn't want no one to know. I was on my own, didn't have nowhere to go. Everything I seen was a test. I was born to be a soldier, nothing less. This is the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier.
This is the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier.
This is the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
All black is the uniform. Soldiers dead and gone, I'm forever pouring liquor for them. Try me on my brothers, and I'll be moving bodies for them. Came up out the struggle and maintained through the storm. Niggas dying for dead presidents, fucking up their residence. White man dirty tricks, they call this shit politics. Vagabonds, and they some natural born lunatics. That what they is. They shut you down when you speaking truth. It black boots when you in the truth. It black boots when you in the truth. This is the life that I chose, nigga.
See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, 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 I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom, escucha.
Esté atento hoy a la negra vista a las 9 de la noche.
You heard it, la verdad. Shalom.
Time, man, shit. Make sure you let these niggas know what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Get on this motherfucker. Let these niggas know what time it is, you understand? We royalty, nigga.
King Ty, really one of the realest. I survived drive-bys from them killers. Like I got 9 lives, I got 9 wives. I said fine wine with them bitches. I'm spitting fire bombs in your city. I got like 8 or 9 niggas with me. And we all ready to die in a minute. One West, we the best in the business. I get offended, I fuck niggas spend it. Talking they get it, but niggas is timid. Rappers is softer than linen. Catch me out parking lot pimping. What more could I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I could do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever. Pull off in the Jetta. Curvy, she on me, you sweater. My fault like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Haters so salty, no pepper. You not that seasoned or clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to pump bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the metal. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah, let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on the calm day. Break the Glock down into 3 parts. Put the 3 together like my Najee. Sipping like Bombay with my enclave. Got my mind made. Ain't no time waste. No. Eating prime steak with a fine date at a fine place. Getting violated.
Hey, listen. I already told these niggas. You understand? I call up King Ty. He say, what's up? I say, what's good, my lord? Listen, he like, listen. These niggas ain't ready for none of this. You understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't one West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas. We royalty, yeah.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like rubber man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talk to my jaw like the sun is set. He told me murder you rappers. Uppercut sending you vertical actors. Y'all got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. So y'all be rhyming the way y'all be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. Magoo. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. No clue. They hold up ones and them W's. Really, bro, don't get too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cloth, co-signed by the boss, then we do not fuck with you. Cause you wouldn't last here. I told you the same shit last year. Already told. Keep talking that trash. I have a car come kick your ass in. Already know. Your jaw like glassware. We pull up not rocking no mask there. Don't care if you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over. You saying your last prayer.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Hey, how y'all feeling out, Hebrews?
Good.
How
you feeling?
Not too bad, priest. Y'all can hear me good?
Come on.
Yeah, man. Most sign. I think everybody audio straight up and down. Yeah, man, we holding it down again. Another Saturday night with the UPK holding it down for Command General Yahanna, hardest working man in Israel. Give him a hand. This week he'll be in North Carolina and South Carolina. Thursday? Yep, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Right? Captain Isaac, you want to run it down for them?
Yeah, so Thursday we're gonna be in Greenville. Right, we're gonna have the opening the Feast of Purim in South Carolina in Greenville. All right. Thursday we're gonna be in Charlotte in Kannapolis to have the closing of Purim, and then on Saturday we're gonna have a big massive camp. You know what I mean? So I mean if you're around the area, support, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, yep. We're gonna be rocking it all the way out. UPK gonna do it as we always do. You know what I mean? I think most everybody coming down for that one down there in the Carolinas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an insane time. Are you doing a food drive and clothing drive, right?
We holding off that big food and clothing drive for around Passover.
I got you. No sweat. I thought there was something this weekend too.
We're
gonna definitely have camp.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you gonna say something else?
Yeah, we might have something, but nothing on that level.
I got you. But still, people could still come down and grab some food, grab some clothes, come meet the brothers, come meet the generals. Gonna be down there. The captains gonna be down there. Sisters gonna be down there. We're gonna be rocking it out. And we warming up the Carolinas for April because boy, April from I don't know. I think it's gonna be April Fools the whole month. It's gonna be April 1st everything that month because they're not gonna believe what we're gonna be coming there with. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. We had the usual suspects inside as per usual. You know what I mean? As y'all already heard from Captain Nathak, he's gonna be down there holding on that Passover, rocking it out. You know what I mean? We had Captain Kwam from the West Coast. Kwam, I don't know if your signal is jammed up or what, but you kind of kind of going in and out, kind of fuzzy with you. You know what I mean? You might want to check and see if your signal get in trouble.
God, let me check a look.
All right. Of course, we have Kazak, Officer Kazak on the inside. You know what I mean? That is with the smoke from the chariot. And Officer Sawapiala also too on the inside, holding it down. You know what I mean? I think Captain Kahan is about to come on through as well. He's gonna be, sliding on through. Listen, man, if you all have any questions in the chat too, you'll put them in, or any stories really that you would want to that we ain't cover or we ain't brought out that you wouldn't want to hear. If you're in the chat, definitely bring it forward. You know what I mean? Definitely bring it forward. I think we have a few people inside. Jayla Brown checking in from Shreveport, Louisiana. Salakia, Shreveport. Shalom. Who's this? Trooper Kwam Maipa checking from Raleigh, North Carolina. I mean, you got to move from Raleigh. You got to move from Raleigh. You got to move out of Raleigh, boy. Priest and Officer Naquab checking in from Portland, Oregon, and Pacific Northwest of Kwam. That's your zone, I believe, right?
Zones under command.
Yes,
sir.
You know, man. You're damn right, damn right. Angela Nuno checking in from Los Angeles, California, West Coast again. Bayana Banyamian checking in from Florida. Meech Rouge checking in from the Bay Area. I really like Kwam, that's you again too, right?
Sir, Manager Yahanna.
It's a lot, yeah. I ain't gonna shout out zones no more. I'm gonna just call the names, brother. It's a lot. You're right. It's Trooper Iwa Palad, Officer Mawasa. You know what I mean? Check it in. I ain't gonna say from where. You're damn right. From Georgia, under Commander Yahanna. Officer Mariah Allah, Yabshin Shabakta, Just Art and Paint, as per usual, always in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Is that Shawnee checking in from New York? Sasha Ra, Shalom, Amanabath, Shalom sis checking in from Vegas. Alwapanya, Barak, Yahawa, is General Q. General Q checking in from all over the world. Yeah, we big up General Q always. Yeah, we supported Sister Thakwa. Shalom sis. Young man. Who's this young man? We're checking in from Detroit. You know what I mean? Nazamana, as per usual, from Louisiana. Yahanna Wana checking in as per usual, always rocking. You know what I mean? There are so many others. So we're gonna definitely touch. We're gonna come back some more. Y'all keep supporting, share the stream, like the stream, subscribe, put us in all your different groups and pages. Make sure share it around. Let people tune in, man, because this is the last beacon for news right now. We're getting ready to cut everybody off after once this election get through. Shit, we might even last that election. Might even last to that point because they surely they're going through it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where you want to start?
Which one, boy?
There's something earlier on there was a pastor or something about some more money laundering.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Another pastor out here. I mean, the Lord is making them take L's.
He's a known pastor too, right?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he's a well-known pastor, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I think that's like number 9 or 10.
18.
I could catch up with yours in a second. Hold on. I think it's about 9 or 10.
I think it's 18.
18?
Yeah.
Whitehead, yeah, that's it. Slovakia. 18.
Kawakan. Indicted New York City pastor Lamar Whitehead boasted of gang Adams ties in extortion scheme feds. Like it. Yeah.
Read the title again, if you don't mind.
Kawakan, sir. Indicted New York City pastor Lamar Whitehead boasted of gang Adams ties in extortion scheme feds.
Go ahead.
Kawakan. Lamar Whitehead, a criminally indicted pastor who so like this article has a pop-up.
Yeah.
What's killing you?
Yeah. This article, like, it requiring you to have a subscription or something for the New York Daily.
See, we could pull it up somewhere else then.
Right?
I believe this is the pastor that had the that did the fraud in New York the time. This is the pastor where they ran in on him during the sermon and robbed him.
Yep.
Yeah. Took his chains. I don't know if you all remember. I think they ran in the church with some guns, took his chains, and he claimed it on the insurance or something. Everybody was saying the whole thing was a setup for the insurance.
Right.
I think this is the same one.
Yeah, Kawakan.
If you don't find it, we could move on.
I got one right here, sir. Indicted Brooklyn bishop boasts mayoral ties and extortion plot feds. Lamar Whitehead, a famously stylish Brooklyn pastor arrested in 2022 on fraud charges, spoke of financial ties to Mayor Eric Adams. Brooklyn's so-called bling bling bishop allegedly boasted about his connection to the mayor's office while extorting and bullying a businessman for $500,000. Bishop Lamore Whitehead, the bishop famously robbed 2 years ago of jewelry during a live stream sermon from his Brooklyn church, made extraordinary claims about his connections to New York City government officials. In court filings, Manhattan federal prosecutors allege that Whitehead swindled a parishioner, lied to the FBI, and falsified bank documents, in addition to extorting the businessman Brandon Belmont.
I think 50 needs to pull him in on power. That's a hell of a character right there.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a character right there. If Snoop ever gets sick, he easy filling for BMF.
Right.
He already have a gangster pastor on that series, but this one here, this is he following. He want to be part of the crime family. He want to be part of the mob, and he ain't giving it up. He ain't easing up at all.
Right. Kawakan says another of the charges relates to former parishioner Pauline Anderson, who says Whitehead convinced her to invest nearly $90,000 of her life savings into a real estate scheme.
Yikes.
Prosecutors said Whitehead falsely represented that he would help Belmont gain favorable actions from the New York City government via a specific New York City government official who's referred to in court papers as the official.
That's the official down there. That's the official down there. That's the mayor. He there with the New York mayor.
Yeah. So like you said, that picture right there look a little suspect. I don't know what's going on with them two. Like, that's a little too close. Everything about that picture is screaming Christianity. I'm understanding it. You see the pink glasses he got going on. Everything is a little off me right now.
Listen, all you need right now to complete that picture is for Usher to rise up in the background. Get Usher rise up in the background there and get her face. Oh man. Listen, it's crazy. Yeah. Same thing Black Dazzle saying. Those pink glasses tell it all. I'm trying to tell you, pink glasses with no glass in it.
Right.
He's wearing it for wearing it.
So like,
I mean, he really he telling you see rainbow.
I mean,
so like, sir. If I may too, this I guess this is a common scheme amongst pastors, robbing old black women in your churches, because this is exactly that pastor here in DC in Maryland that came up against the camp that tried to fight us with his son, Thornton Furnell. If anybody wants to look him up, by the way, that's his name. Thornton Furnell. Look him up. He's a charlatan, and he steals from old black women. This type of scheme where they get over on these old silly sisters must be common, because here he is all the way in New York, convicted for the same thing that this pastor here in Maryland was convicted for. So it's like I don't know if y'all seeing this, but you Christians better wake up. You are being hustled. If you didn't know it spiritually, you better believe physically they coming for them pockets.
Because I think they call that they're being scammed.
Right.
You're talking about scammers.
Yeah.
You're pissed off with them young boys being scammers, but you ain't pissed off with your pastor being a scammer, right?
Right.
The young boys is this finesse. The pastors, the young boys is the scammers. The pastors is the finessers. Which one it is?
Yeah.
One is the finesser. One is finessing. One is scamming. Yeah, both of them wicked as hell though.
Right.
Ain't nobody scamming Donald Trump. Ain't nobody finessing the Goldman Sachs. That's our Lehman Brothers. Yeah, I mean. And just for everybody who wanted to know, this is from justice.gov. Maryland man indicted on 13 counts related to financial exploitation of 2 elderly district residents. Wow. Thornton Fennell, 56, was indicted October 26, 2020 and arrested on charges involving financial exploitation. You know what I mean? And they run down the whole thing here of this pastor who, you know, since 2017 or 18 been scamming, you know, older people for their money. And he thought he wouldn't have gotten caught, and he definitely got caught. He did some time for it and still had the gall to come up and try to come up against the camp after you done prey on black people.
Right.
You know,
Oh damn, he can come up against the camp.
Yeah, that was the pastor. Yeah. That was last year or the year before. That was last year. That was the year before. 2 years ago. Yeah.
He had the kahunas to do that.
Oh man, he was strong, brother. That day was a strong demon for him, brother. And the same type of LGBTQ vibes. Once his son showed up, his son showed up, wanted to fight, to kiss the son in the mouth, all kind of nasty shit out there. Same type of vibe. You know what I mean?
What was even funny about that situation, Cap, was when you called his wife out, or you thought it was a sister in his church, turned out to be his wife, and you asked what kind of car you drive. He's like, "Of course, we drive a Mercedes." He's like,
right. Listen, she was trying to save him, Mark. She was trying to pull him away because she already knew he wasn't supposed to be out there like that. You know what I mean? But these pastors, boy, and okay, these pastors damn near is damn near you had to cut off their supply.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like really, you ain't stopping them, because at this point, everybody know the pastor don't know the Bible, but you have to cut off their supply, and this is their supply. If I could get one scripture, please, give me 2 Timothy 3:6.
Come. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 6. For of this sort they which creep into houses and led captive silly women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts.
Right, like that's their supply. Right, silly women laden with sin. That's their supply. Their supply. Who giving them all the resources, all that money for them? That pink glasses probably cost about $500. More than that. Listen, I'm lowballing anything, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's them suits he wearing, the cars he driving. You know, silly women laden with sin is the supply. You got to cut that off. You got to cut them silly women off, and you only cut them off by raising up strong black men, like what Commander Yahanna is doing in the school of UK. That's how you cut that off. You cut that thing off that way. And listen, this is the funny thing about it. It's coming out more and more now that they're saying black women, especially black women, are suffering from a tremendous amount of stress. A tremendous amount of stress that's leading to poor mental health, and it's affecting the cardiovascular system. But it comes from the stress. And guess what's the root of the stress?
Finances.
No man.
Not the finances. The no man is a symptom of it, but the root of it comes from the woman's liberation movement, and then the mantra of the strong, independent black woman. They say right now, so many black women trying to live up to that don't believe the shit. But because that's the current, that's the right now, that's the present tide that they're swimming in, they can't really go against it, but they don't really believe that shit, and they're tired of trying to be the strong, independent black woman. And they're tired of the shit. The shit is affecting them biologically.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that too. I remember watching a video on a woman. Forget if she was what nationality she was, but she was basically cursing out the that whole movement, that whole woman liberation movement, where she was saying, I'm 40 years old and I don't have a man, I don't have kids, and it's because I believe in this whole feminism, crap. You know what I mean? And she was upset of the whole fact. You know what I mean? Because they tell them they don't need a man.
Right.
You understand? But when you get to, you know what I mean, to 40 and you recognize what life is really about, and you know what I mean, you now trying to start, you know what I mean, that clock ticking on the you know what I mean, on childbearing. Once you hit that clock, you know what I mean, and they don't tell you these things. You know what I mean? They don't explain like reality to women. Like the reality is, you know what I mean, you gonna want a child, you gonna want a man, but you trying to stop yourself from nature. You know what I mean? Of course, as I say, you're gonna be stressed you know what I mean, stressed the hell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not natural.
Yeah.
It's not natural. It's not natural for that. And okay, now they're coming out with these stories about it because so many sisters are not just having mental breakdowns, but they're having heart attacks, stress attacks, and anxiety attacks. So it's coming out now. But now, with that said, what's really happening with the kids?
Yeah.
What's happening with the families? And these pastors, this is who's their supply. Because he's supplying the silly woman with a drug that fentanyl, Xanax, none of that could, give her that type of high. Like how you saying, Captain Nathak, with you can't tell them the truth. You know what I mean? They're so delusional. The delusion comes from the pastor.
Right.
The delusion, it's cemented. I shouldn't say comes from, but it's really cemented with the pastors like this. Because he dressed nice, quote unquote, wearing all the gay apparel, like what they say in James, a ton of money and splurging just like a woman would. Just like a female would, and that's appealing to her. And she goes in there and listens to all the lies, and it helps her, go through the day. And that's really his supply. So you wanna cut off, preachers like that. You wanna cut off slime balls like that. You gotta keep a bag of money in the house with a lock on it, and when she's ready to, pay the bills or buy shoes, you gotta come to you. But you gotta cut off that supply. Yeah, I mean, it sounds extreme, but in some cases, that's what you have to do. And listen, it ain't strange because guess what? Lord forbid you end up in a situation where the state had to come into your house and take your kids and take hold of you. Guess what? They're taking hold of your income. They're gonna take hold of your income. They're gonna make you write down what you spend your money on, and they're gonna help you spend your money. So what I'm saying is not far-fetched. It's just because it's somebody black saying that you'll have a problem. But when the oppressor sees the social service office, you're gonna gladly hand it all the way over.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This article here. Go ahead, Salaki, brother.
No, I just want to say, because the point you're bringing out, as you read the scripture, man, it more or less kind of open up the mind again, in the sense that when you really look at the women in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna, it's a real far-fetched thing, and we had to sit to water again, for Commanding General Yahanna, again, the council with these women and them coming out from that state, and really looking. Because all these women are real precious inside here, and you really look at it, real precious. And again,
listen, you hit the nail on the head there. You hit the nail on the head there. I don't know. Sometimes we go to these cookouts in these cities. Brothers who are rollers will always hear me say, I ain't trying to go to the club because what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? There's really no point. Yeah, I mean, there's no point. Like it's like you're hungry and you go in the kitchen, but you're not gonna eat. You know what I mean? Because what's out there, brother, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. You ain't never liar. I just want to bring this out for you all here, right? For everybody out, rather. Oh shit, so lucky. Okay, this article here is from the healthevolution.com website. This is March 31st, 2022. So it's just about a year old. All right. It says research indicates that Black women highly endorse the strong Black woman persona, a perception that Black women are naturally strong, resilient, self-contained, and self-sacrificing. the SBW, it had its own acronym now, like it's the FBI. The SBW, which is the strong black woman, right, is perceived as able to handle with ease all the stress, upset, and trauma life throws her way. Her strength is shown in her independence, self-control, and work ethic. She is self-reliant and emotionally contained. She does not need emotional or financial support. And if you look, those two statements there, they have a little 1 and 2. I don't know if you're seeing them, right? By ethic and contain, because those comes from studies they did. And it's a quotation from that study. So he ain't just talking, right? She does not need she does not need emotional or financial support to succeed or take care of her and others' responsibilities. Again, that comes from a study. She works tirelessly and without complaint, always doing more, even if what is asked seems impossible. And that all those fake goals and fake standards comes from that woman's liberation movement, and of course our oppressor, the so-called white man, because he dresses all these things up in glitz and glamour. Like what we just read here, when you read it, you realize, okay, this is really a game they're running on sisters, because there's nobody independent and nothing. There's no. You saying you're independent, that's a whole lie. You hear it in the music. I got it from the bottom. I did it on my own. You didn't do shit on your own. Somebody helped you along the way. You're always going to need help. You're always going to need support. You're going to need somebody to watch your back while you sleep. You're going to need it. But this gets dressed up. How? Beyonce. Who run the world? Girls run the world. Who runs the world? Girls run. It gets dressed up in glitz and glamour. It gets dressed up. Put all his things in a box to the left, Meanwhile, she going home to her husband, though. She not handling everything herself. Right. She telling you to be strong and independent. Meanwhile, she has the beehive. She has a whole network of support while telling you to be independent. It's a whole game. It's a facade. It's a lie. And it's delusional, like what Captain Nafak was saying. Let me get a little more. But evidence suggests that the degree to which a black woman identifies as a strong black woman can limit her ability to cope well emotionally, generating adverse mental health outcomes related to stress, anxiety, and depression. Now understand that, brother. Man. And we are people who we could never get proper diagnosis from a health professional, proper diagnosis from anywhere. So which means there's a ton of sisters who's don't even know this is what's going on, and we self-medicating. Now you're seeing where the demand for all these drugs coming from. You understand? You do most men and women in the world self-medicated in some way, form, or fashion. And it coming from that lifestyle of I'm independent and I'm strong and I can do it on my own, and you can't. You're crying in the car to work. You're crying in the bathroom. You're having breakdowns. You're zoning to hell out. You're literally zoning out. And you don't know why, because you're listening to the oppressor and not your husband. Sure. You want to be strong, and this not you. You can't do that. That's not in you to be. And let me rephrase that. It's not that you can't do it. Your idea of strong is absolutely weak, and that's why you're falling apart.
Yeah.
What you think is strength is absolute and total weakness.
Yeah.
That's why you're falling apart. You know what I mean?
Salaki, if I may.
Go ahead, please.
I was going to say, like, when you think about how it's saying that they can't cope with the emotional understanding of it, is because they're taking on the role of a man, which is against the nature of them in the beginning. And so that's the reason why they're struggling to be in that dominant position, because by nature, they're not meant to be dominant, but to be dominated. You need a man to be in that role. You know what I mean? Like that strong black woman concept is the very thing that's killing you. And if you don't, and this is so heavy because this is a study. So that means they actually took the time to get, you know, do the footwork and reach out and get all the analytics to put this together so the facts could be out there. And it's crazy that we as a people don't want to understand it. We need to start pushing that if you want to be, y'all want to be strong black women. The acronym is SBW. It should be submissive black women now at this point. You know what I mean? Because that's the S you need. You need to learn submission. You know what I mean? Because the reality of it is that's what's going to save your life. You stressing, learn to be submissive. You stressing, learn how to get in that kitchen and cook. You stressing, learn how to take the back seat and let a man lead you. And you'll find yourself living longer, and you'll find yourself happy, like Captain Ayathak was saying, them ladies out there getting to 40, and then you want to have a family, and you forget that your biological clock ended. You're in geriatric pregnancy time frame. It's gonna be hard for you to have a child. Then not on top of that, now you try to do IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. You're paying $20,000 to try to get artificially inseminated. You can only do it so many times without tearing up your womb, and then you don't even know if you're gonna be able to have a child. It's so many things and factors that this beast has put in place to destroy you, and he's doing nothing but taking money out of your pocket just as much as that pastor is. So like y'all you.
Nah, listen, man, give me my hand for that breakdown right there. Like that's so right, Kwame. And that's why in the UPK they have a shirt called the sisters have a shirt called Submission is My Strength. It's super spiritual, and to a woman in the world, submitting is like it's like terrifying. It's like putting you in handcuffs. It's like it's like catching a wild rodent in a little cage. You ever see how they pass out in the cage? Submit to who? And you start looking to hell. But you don't understand that that's how you escape this nonsense that's going on. You acting all tough and strong, and as you go into slave and you go into work and you're buying this and buying that, and you so fierce this and fierce that. And the minute you turn them keys and you open the door and you come inside and nobody there, you are crying to the walls.
Right.
You are having suicidal thoughts.
Especially,
go ahead, Salakia.
Especially if it's snowing and the battery's dead.
Damn. Oh, Salakia, I see it coming through, bro. Go ahead,
it's a winter storm. And them batteries dead. But on a serious note too, you know what I mean, as what the brother was bringing out, like brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, if you're watching the show, what you're gonna have to ask yourself is this: the Lord already put the Bible, which is the manual on life. You understand? Right. He explained to you that the woman is the weaker vessel. She cannot take on that type of stress. The Lord knows what he did. Now the oppressor, he has to come and now try to say the Lord, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Woman, you could be independent, just like the serpent in the garden. Now you're being beguiled like Eve into thinking you could be independent. You could be like a God, right? Until, as you know, I mean, Captain Meshach saying, you open them doors and there's nobody in them in that door. Nobody in there. But them four walls, you understand? Like we're gonna have to start waking up and realize that we've been played as a people. It's not in our woman culture to be, you know what I mean, to be thinking that they don't need a man, they could be independent. That's not in our culture. You know what I mean? You read the Bible, you never hear a woman saying, you know what I mean, speaking about she could be better off by herself. Our scriptures about taking care of the widow, taking care of the woman, you know what I mean, who don't have a husband. You understand? Right. It has nothing to do with that whole being independent come from the oppressor, who is the snake in the garden, and he is continuing to beguile Eve. You know what I mean? To this day, 2024. Right. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Like you so right, because okay, the stress and the anxiety and the depression that comes with being in solitude. I'm sure if they continue with this and they do a correlation with people who's faced like solitary confinement, they're gonna find measurable levels of the same stress, anxiety, and depression.
Yeah,
because you're really isolating yourself socially, spiritually, and emotionally. When you were made to have a bond by a certain age, you're really like you have to create that bond and then trade that bond. Like no natural life, you grow up in a family, you're gonna have a bond with your siblings if you have siblings and your parents. Then after you start making bonds with your peers as teenagers and adolescents. Once you get to adulthood, then there's a whole other level of bonding that happens. And now when you come and you tell somebody they're strong and they're independent and they don't have to do this and do that, and they abandon the role that would give them the bond. Like the bond in the household is I'm the child, this is the parent. I do what the parent says. The parent makes sure I have a roof over my head and make sure I have something to eat. I could get to school. There's so many things the kids don't have to worry about because they fall into that role. But now when there's not that role, that child becomes stressed because now they have to feed themselves. Now they have to see how they get to school. They have to figure out things, and something is going to start suffering. Usually it's their grades, usually it's their social life. Now take that and advance that into adulthood. There's certain things as a woman you should not have to worry about. But because our people through these damn pastors done bought into the strong, independent black woman, happy life, happy wife, you can't tell her nothing. All that put together is destroying her. And destroying her is destroying the household because 9 out of 10 times she ends up with the children anyway.
Like Cap.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Cap, please.
Talk about looking for love in all the wrong places. like just a backdrop on this so-called past Valentine's Day. A lot of black women, they love to talk about red flags and red flags this. Well, the red flags got ignored because of a red ribbon this Valentine's Day. All this narcissist talk, you accepted gifts from narcissists this Valentine's Day.
Right.
Yes, you did. For all the black women out there. And I don't want to hear anything about love bombing and all that, because every gift that a man bought you, you took. Now you want to talk about being emotionally unstable? They have holidays for that, and you celebrated it. So these things here, it just goes into what is heavy. What Captain and I talk about the weaker vessel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's things that a woman, her strength is not in it. Submission must be your mission in life.
That's right.
Along with all the skills and accolades and the level of degree of understanding you get in whatever practice, your purpose is to be a helpmate for your man, and then also an extension for your nation.
That's right.
The problem is a lot of women have careers and no purpose. That's why they empty. That's why they go home and I have a career, I have a degree, but you don't have a purpose. Purpose is something more spiritual. You have women that's buying land, that's building land developments. You got doing all kind of stuff, but they don't have no purpose. Where ISUPK is where you're gonna get your purpose.
That's right.
So like I yield.
Yep, you're so right. And if I could too, is like there is something that independence that you're subscribing to so strong. Because you subscribe to the independence so strong, there's a muscle you're not exercising. And that muscle is to be able to trust wholeheartedly in that man in the house. And that muscle is very, very weak, which is why you question everything he does when he there. And you question him so much that when he not there, you tell yourself you could handle it because you want to rely on you. There's a certain amount of strength in yielding, like what Captain Kahan said and Captain Nathak was saying. The submission is the strength. Like there's like sisters be watching us on the street and talking about they wish they could do that and they could be a soldier. You could do that in the house. You could yield to that man in the house, and you practicing to yield like that, it would give you such strength in handing over that type of independence you want to him. you will now realize what your purpose is. So it's like it's one and the same. It's all the same thing in one same pot, no matter how you spin it or how you look at it. And while our sisters suffer, these damn pastors is, running amok. Joel Osteen, all of them, TD Jakes, all of them is getting a supply from these women because, of course, they're independent now.
So like, Cap.
Go ahead,
I remember TD Jakes. He had that whole women's conference, and he had a book that says "Woman, thou art loose."
Yeah,
I remember that. But these women don't understand that Satan can control you through freedom.
Right.
So like, I yield.
Right. You're absolutely right. If I could, because could you finish read what's on the screen there, please, brother? And then I just want to pull one scripture, and then we could go ahead and move.
Starting at taking a toll.
Yeah, please.
Kawakan. Taking a toll on Black women's mental well-being. Black women face unique stresses poorly understood in treatment circles. Black adults in general, and Black women in particular, are more likely than white women to report feeling sad and hopeless some of the time. The detrimental impact of racism on African American women's mental, emotional, and physical health throughout their lifespan is well documented, and Black women diagnosed with postpartum depression are less likely to accept medication recommendations and therapy.
You understand? Like it's a how they say suffering in silence. It's a whole epidemic of it, and it comes from that marrying them two situations. One is subscribing to that independent lifestyle and going wholeheartedly into it, and the other is not wanting to trust in a man. I don't need a man. Don't need a man. Don't need a man. It's like you have to constantly lie to yourself, and now you're paying for it in the hospital. And it's rough. It's one thing to suffer mentally, but you could get a stroke, you could get a heart attack. That's what they're saying that's happening now. They're saying these things is extending further and affecting medical health, in a way that they haven't seen before. You know what I mean? So it's rough. It's absolutely rough.
So, like I said, if I may too,
Yeah,
and this article you brought out is so heavy because when you really look at it, this shows just how diabolical our oppressor is. Everything that these sisters tell themselves is what these slave masters used to tell Black women to mistreat them. Like, you're fine. You're fine. You're strong. It's like how they would patronize the sisters while they did experiments and torture them. Right. And so it's like the sisters now have taken on that pathology. Now in their minds, I'm strong. I don't, I can do this, or I don't need to do that. And then we seeing sisters break down. Like I was on TikTok Live, and Captain Yatazak, he was on there with me in the chat, and this sister full out had a mental breakdown. And she invited me to the live. I guess she had recognized my name from a previous live. So I'm sitting up, I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I can see the demons on her. I'm like, this sister is having a mental breakdown, and she has nobody to go to. So she's here on TikTok Live for the world to see her breakdown. And the thing she's saying is like, she's tired of being strong, but then she turned around and say, she don't need a man, and a man is not the solution to the problem. It's like she was all over the place, and I'm like, sisters have been duped. Y'all have been duped and believing the lies of the oppressor, man. And he lied to you to benefit him, and it's working. And it's destroyed you and our family and our people.
Yep. You ain't never lie. You absolutely ain't never lie with that. Like as you saying, like she on there having that full out breakdown because the escape from it, you're now at a crossroads. It's a conundrum.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm tired of this shit, but the alternative is I had to go be under this man. And that's what are we talking about? And she rather suffer. You get the point?
Right.
I don't. It's not that far fetched to understand. It's the same thing of we on the street. The preachers are evil. The Christian church is the house of Satan. They're nothing to do with God. Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible or God. They agree. Next, we ought to do come out of America. Well, we can't do that. We can't leave that behind. What we gonna do? How I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna come to you. It's damn near like that. It's almost like that whole it's like a Stockholm syndrome with the oppressor. Like now you realize what it is, but you can't do it. But you're tired of it though, and it's across all levels. You had that sister on the live. Taraji P. Henson was crying, talking about she tired of being strong. She was like, I'm fed up with this shit. I'm tired about it. Monique talk about that husband, how he ground her. He have her grounded. You get the point? Like, and this is what you're seeing happening all over the place right now. And I really think that COVID magnified it. Because now these same sisters had to spend times with themselves more. They ain't no filler time. They ain't no I'm riding the train with 20,000 people to work. There ain't no car I'm driving to work. There's no office. There's no store. There's nothing that fills your time. Now you're home with you, with your independent self, and you realize I don't like this independence. I don't like it.
It's a locker, Cap.
Go ahead, please.
And for those don't know, like the smart ones that's in those high positions that manage in management positions and things like that, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. When they come home, like I said, when they start dating, they starting to tell men, the wives are starting to tell men up front that they want to be, and I quote, dominated. That's what they're telling them. The one they said, I'm in charge at work. I'm in charge of this. I'm in charge of that. I run a Fortune 500 company. But when I come home, I want to be told what to do. Now, there are other women that disagree with that. They think that they should stay in that role, but that role is getting worn out. That role is from 9 to 5. But when the sun go down, they want pure domination. They want to be told what to cook, what to wear, everything. That's what's happening. That's what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
So like I yield.
Yep. It's time to return all things to their natural state. Men are going to go back to their natural state. When I say natural, I'm not talking about carnal state. I'm talking about natural, meaning what the Lord wants you to be.
That's right. Position.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that natural position, that natural spirit you're supposed to have. When I say natural, I'm talking about the cycle and the system the Lord puts in place. This is the time of the reckoning. This is the time of correction. This is the time of realigning. This is the time of reset. Everything is going back into its proper place because it's not working. It's absolutely not working, and imagine it's affecting your health, your actual physical health. And that's to show you there's no separation between that spiritual world and that physical world. And as we always teach, it happens in the spiritual first, and then in the physical.
And just to what you're saying, Cap, and what everybody's saying also too, it also add to your life, what I call it, life expectancy. Like it goes up. It tells you that. You know what I mean? They did study. They know that. You know what I mean? Married women will live longer than single women. Right?
Yep.
I'm not saying 100% of the time, but majority of the time they already did the research. It says by 2-point-something years or something like that. Right? But they because of that less stress, right? And what they're going to add on and tell you is everything that's amount to stress. Because when you're stressed out, you're going to do what? You're going to drink liquor. You're going to eat unhealthy.
Yep.
Right? You're going to smoke. You're going to do everything you're not supposed to do when you're stressed out.
Yep.
You understand? Which will add to you not having a long life. You understand? And Esau, he knows it because he already did the study. He know what's in that Bible is the truth, but he's trying to keep you away from it. So you put a lust-filled pastor in front of you, so you're not even worrying about what's inside that Bible. You understand? You're not even worrying about what he teaching you. You're worrying about, you know what I mean, about being independent and no man can tell me what to do anything. Ain't no sweat. Well, let that clock tell you what to do then. You know what I mean? And
I mean, it's worse. And it's only going to get worse because it tells you America is not set up to deal with us mentally. There's a whole lack of professionals that able to identify with our problems. Much more where majority of our people, we don't like to go to the doctor anyway. And when we do go, we prefer to have somebody who looks like us. And there's a whole shortage of them, them psychological clinicians to really get to the root of the problem. So again, it's like you're festering, like you're rotting on the side. Yeah, you're decaying on the side where there's no help. But of course, Sally, there's help for her. You understand? Miley Cyrus, there's help for her. Taylor Swift, there's help for her. But Yodamas, there's not much help for you outside of the Israelite School of UPK under command of John Yahanna. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, some of y'all gonna have to be brought to a position where that's your only choice. You got to hit rock bottom. You're like an addict.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to hit rock bottom before you can actually get the help you need. You so desperately need before you want it.
So, like,
you go ahead, please.
Can we get a precept on what you're talking about? Everybody in the panel is talking about. Can I get Proverbs chapter 9, verse 11, if possible?
Yep. Absolutely.
This is just to magnify the point, because with everything out of one human document bringing out is just on point. You know what I mean? For you science believers, what we just talked about right now was science, and it's in the Bible. You understand? Like, not stressing, being joined together, understanding how this life and role works will increase thy days. And this is what the Lord said whenever you got it.
Khan. The book of Proverbs, chapter 9 and verse 11. For by me thy days shall be multiplied.
Who is by me? That's the Most High. That's, you know what I mean? In the ways that Christ showed us how to live. By his day, by him, your days will be multiplied. Keep going.
Khan. And the years of thy life shall be increased.
No, decreased.
Increase.
No, decreased.
Increase.
Your days are going to be increased. You're going to have a longer fulfillment of your life. You're not going to get out here and die like everybody else. Keep going.
Khan. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise. If thou be wise.
If thou be wise. What is wise? What is wisdom? Wisdom is the practical understanding of this book, the knowledge. You know what I mean? Wisdom is the very thing that you lack in America, lack in these what's these women groups in this feminist movement. That feminist movement lacks wisdom. When you go against wisdom, you go against the Most High, you go against the Bible. Go ahead.
Khan. Thou shalt be wise for thyself.
Thou shalt be wise for thyself. Go ahead.
But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it.
And that's what you bearing. You deny this truth. You deny this understanding. You deny what we tell you in the Israelite School of UPK under command and during Yahanna, where the prophets of the Lord dwell. You better wake up and smell the coffee. Salaki, I yield.
That's right. Listen, that was a hell of a precept right there. That's it. You deny anything, and your days ain't gonna be multiplied, and we suffering for it. And okay, most of the sisters would understand it because of course they're in here and they're fully taught and changed and new. But a lot of women gonna hear us saying this, and they would say how we're misogynistic and you hate women and woman bashing. But you don't understand that it's affecting you which means it affects us. You don't understand that. You don't understand that it's not good to look at you and see you're wasting your life. You're wasting your life behind something that cannot even help you live.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that, but you might need to have a few more strokes and stuff before you could get an appreciation for what we're talking about. Anyway, let's move on. The time running. Go ahead, Con.
No, go ahead, Kai. I ain't gonna.
No, come on with it. Come on with it, Doc.
What Capricorn said was so heavy, man. I'm so sick of these blackity black astrologers, these zodiac women running around here talking about the Saturn and all this, and they always get in these bad relationships. They got all these compatibility signs and things like that, but they always every form of knowledge they get in, they don't have the right relationship compatibility. You telling us about Saturn, we watching patterns. We not into all that. and then you want to talk about that a man can't be in charge. Well, look, even the heavens have a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to get deep with it, ain't nothing you gonna say that's gonna trump this Bible. Nothing.
That's right.
The Lord gave the sun a time to shine and the moon.
Mm-hmm.
He called one light greater than the other.
Yep.
But they both shine.
Yeah.
So like I yield.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So where we going next? Y'all wanna visit Moscow? Boy, Putin, boy. This dude right here, I mean, he that's the new boogeyman, boy. That's the new boogeyman. That's Candyman. That's Freddy Krueger. That dude right there. Yeah. I see why they were so scared in England. This they had to start recruiting people for the war from now. Because if he starts bombing people, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Aleski Novelon? What's his name?
Navalny or something. Navalny or something like that.
Yeah.
Navalny.
They pull up Navalny.
Oh God. Alexei Navalny is the latest Putin critic to die in suspicious circumstances.
No, listen, those of you who ain't know, it's not that suspicious. I believe this. He was the opposition leader who declared he was going to run for the election with Putin. Right? This is about 2 months ago.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, but I think he was it's him, but he was speaking out against Putin. He was speaking out.
When he was speaking out, he was like an opposition leader. But then Putin say he gonna run for election again. This guy come and say he running against him, and 2 weeks later he was in jail.
Yeah,
and I think this is the one who they lost in the prison last month.
Yeah,
all his people calling for him, his lawyer can't. They lose this nigga in the jail, and then they find him somewhere else in a whole different prison in some very Arctic region. They call it the polar bear or some kind of shit like that. That's the name of the prison.
No, is the wolf something like
some cold wolf or some shit like that is the name of the prison because it brick cold up in that shit. Yeah, listen, Brittany Griner cut her dreads. Everybody thinks she has a spiritual epiphany. Brittany Griner cut her dreads because she said when she bathed in the prison, it's not warm. The dreads would freeze and be ice. And would be too heavy on her damn head. And she said she had to cut it. People thought it was some kind of spiritual epiphany. You know, she let go of the shit. She cut her hair to show the Lord she would come home. She said in an interview and she explained it. She said she would wash her hair. But she ain't got no blow dryer or nothing like that. She ain't got all that feminine shit. The damn dreads would turn to ice because all the water in it and be so heavy on her head, she had to cut the damn dreads. They lose that nigga in that prison now. Go ahead, please.
Salakia, sir, she probably was trying to make a blanket.
You would have needed.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to weave something together. It was gold.
Called Khan. The death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny in a penal colony in Russia's Arctic North was shocking, but hardly surprising. For years, critics and opponents of Russian leader Vladimir Putin have fallen victim to shootings, poisoning with radioactive or nerve agents, or have plunged to their deaths from open windows. Navalny was only 47 and had appeared in court the day before his death in the penal colony known as Polar Wolf, where he was serving a lengthy sentence.
Yo, brother. They named the damn colony Polar Wolf. It's rough. It's a rough one right there.
Right.
That's a rough one right there, brother. It's white on white crime, man.
Yep.
White on white crime. Good.
And Salaki, go ahead. I'm gonna come on.
No, go ahead, sir. Salaki.
No, I was just going to say, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, blacks are spontaneity Indians. You better take note and see who over us. You understand? Because these oppressors, they will unalive you if you step in the way of power or money. So which lets you know you ain't coming out of here without Christ. You're not coming out of here without Christ dealing with these men.
Right.
You understand? Ain't no way you're coming out of here. You could go say you're going to start a militia, you know what I mean? You know, and start your Black Power movement or whatever. You are not coming out of here without Christ.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You know what I mean? The Bible does say by you know, by the sword is how this guy will eat.
Yeah.
The Bible said that, like his blessing is the sword. He has a blessing, and it's the sword. So, you know, he's not playing. You know, he's not playing a game. He's playing for keeps.
Yeah,
playing because for absolute keeps.
Because even with the Israeli president, you'll see him on TV, and you will if you did not know there was a so-called genocide going on in Palestine, you would think he is, you know what I mean, he's just a regular old, you know what I mean, oppressor. But they will unalive a whole city and wake up and have good times with the kids and just go about life.
Right.
You know what I mean? You not like that. You ought to get high before you go commit a crime. The majority of us, we got to get high before we do anything that's, you know what I mean, that's going to really challenge your consciousness or you know what I mean. We're not like them culturally. We're not like them.
Nah.
You understand?
Nah.
Like they're totally on a different level when it comes to, you know what I mean, that pecking order. You know what I mean? You might just, you know what I mean, well, say, oh, all right, this man better than me. Not them. Not them. You know what I mean? Just imagine he just running for a position for a country. He get what? With Kazakh, he get what? Poison. With they try to hit him with nerve gas. They try to hit him with uranium or something else.
The same Navalny?
Yeah.
And a poisoning attempt, sir.
They try to unalive that dude several times.
Yep.
Putin know the expense, the price of having an opposition in this climate. Remember the same thing with, not the same exactly, but similarly with Venezuela, with Maduro. When Maduro stood up against America, and then they had the puppet Guaido, America's puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody saw how America supported Guaido, and while they had sanctions on Venezuela, was cutting Venezuela off, Guaido was able to get aid in and food in and all type of stuff. So watching that, what could happen. I remember Putin sent over jets over to Venezuela when that was happening. They sent 2 fighter jets to land on the tarmac just to let you know if y'all think this is how it's going to happen, we ain't going to just let it happen just like that. So he has a history of making people disappear. He has some cabinet member left his house on the way to work, on the way to the Kremlin, I believe, and they found his car with the door open. Never made it to work. I'm gonna look up the story now. They found the car with the door open, and the dude never made it in, and he gone. He disappeared.
And just to add to, as you're saying that, and if you know what I mean, you black, you know what I mean, Hispanic or Native Indian, and you watching this show and you think America is any different, you know what I mean, you need to wake up.
Right.
You really need to wake up. I don't know if you all ever heard about these people, these 2 men, I think there's 2 American that the United Emirates hire to carry out over 100 assassinations in Yemen. Over 100 assassinations in Yemen. You understand?
They were soldiers?
I think ex-soldiers. They have a documentary right now, I think, going on either Netflix or it could be on YouTube right now. And they're telling you that they're basically telling you, giving you the whole breakdown on how what they do and who they went in for, you know what I mean? So to let you know. And then you had what, JFK?
Yep.
Who you know what I mean? Up to now, they know who do it. They know who did that.
Yep.
They know who do it. And Lincoln, right in the theater. They knew who did it. You know what I mean? Like they don't, you know what I mean? They don't play. Like right now, if you were to wake up, not even wake up, just do history. When we had Black Wall Street, we had Black Wall Street all over United States. And what they did, they got rid of it by what? Politics? No, by violence.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep.
Which they let you know who you're dealing with. When it comes to them, they deal with the pecking order like an animal in the jungle deal with the pecking order violently. They don't just, you know what I mean? They don't just, you know what I mean, just somehow wake up and then power. No, they will unalive you. They will do everything, disrupt your whole culture to stay in power. And now you're gonna wake up one morning thinking, well, this is just life. This ain't life. You know what I mean? You are a puppet, and your preacher is the one that playing the strings.
Yep. Even down there in North Carolina, that in Wilmington, I think, that newspaper.
Yeah.
Right. That newspaper when they was tired of having black people in power, and it was damn near like an ethnic cleansing, and they burned down that black newspaper building. They had some story in the other day. I told you I was watching it, and they were saying part of the plan was to kill the brother who owned the paper. I forget his name. He has some famous name down there because that family was kind of prominent. And a white man had to give him the password to get out of the area. What they did was they made a perimeter around that Wilmington area, and they would only let you out if you knew the certain code word. And then the mob that come in don't know every single black person. And this guy, even though he owned the printing press, he ain't known. So a devil had to give him the password to leave out. And that's how he did not get killed when they come to burn down the paper. And when they didn't get him, after they done burn the building with the paper down and they're leaving, that's when they starting to loot and burn down villages because they was angry they didn't get him and his family. And afterwards, the American government damn near had a gag order on North Carolina to not talk about it and report it. But they say that was a damn near one, like what they would record as a coup in terms of going up against the government that was established, which was primarily had a lot of black people in power. And white people down there wasn't having it no more. And they just went to killing. So what you say now, Zach, is absolutely right. If you think that's something strange and that can't happen here, and you talk about, why don't you go live in Russia? You should be happy, you live in here. You disappear here the same way. In fact, you wouldn't even disappear. Just kill your way you stand, like Medgar Evers or Martin Luther King. Just lay you out right there and go boast about it and go auction a gun like George Zimmerman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Salaki, Kev, if I may.
Go ahead.
I was reading up real quick on this Navalny cat, and I see here, why Putin may have did what he did, because this type of move shows that he rules in power. He is absolutely in power. And the Navalny cat back in 2021 made a statement that he said his political slogan he was proposing to change. He was pushing like, we're going to make sure Russia will be free. He was going to try to change it to Russia will be happy. And that happiness is why Putin probably did what he did, because happiness screams America. It screams the colorful movement. And, they don't tolerate certain things in other countries. So it's like, you got to pay attention to, we have this Western mind state of everywhere you go in the world is supposed to be like America. Russia don't roll like America. They don't like that happiness. They don't like them drugs. That's why Brittany Griner, you mentioned earlier, was in prison. You know what I mean? Like, you bring something that is contrary to their understanding and believing, and you're going to find yourself, drinking some water as what you thought, and you ain't going to never wake up again.
That's it.
That's
absolutely it. Like he Putin right now, he's trying to maintain an identity that's probably 1,000 more years old. He's trying hard to do that, and he does not want that American influence, and he does not want to be subjugated by America. He doesn't want that thing, whether it's proxy through NATO or through Poland or Hungary or whoever. So anything that seems like a threat to national security, he's making a play for it. And he don't care, because he playing for keeps. If it is you want to find him wrong for doing what he's doing, he ready to deal with the consequences of it. He's not playing pretty politics at all. He playing power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also too, as I say that too, like this is biblical also too. Meaning this, like they think they could change the Bible. I want to say they, meaning the oppressor. The Bible speaks about Russia having a hook, pulling them back. You understand? This Navalny wasn't going to pull them back. He was going to try to join with America. You understand? But the Lord say Russia is going to be pulled back, and Putin is that man that's pulling Russia all the way back.
Yeah,
everything you're seeing is biblical. You thinking you just like we think we make a decision to go and buy the new pair of Jordans or the new pair of Clarks. No, we ain't making a decision. Them things pushed on us. You understand? Well, the Lord, he'd already set it up where America and Russia, they're gonna be enemies. You understand? Because America trying to do what Nimrod was trying to do, which was what? Join the whole world together now to go and try and fight the Most High. You understand? But the Lord don't want that. The Lord does not want that. You know what I mean? But your preacher, he gonna tell you, you know what I mean, the Lord is all love. But the Lord he doesn't want it. So we're gonna have some war on this earth. You understand? Christ gonna have to come back and really, you know what I mean, save us. You understand?
Yeah.
Because these two here, we get caught in the middle. They do not care who lives or dies.
It's a wrap.
It's
an absolute wrap. It's an absolute wrap. Any more on Navalny? Or we could go ahead and move on.
It just goes a little bit more into like what Captain Nythok was saying, the previous attempt through a nerve agent. But that's pretty much it, sir. Like the Captain Kwam was just saying, Putin is flexing his power for sure, sir.
No, because because as Mashak was saying too, when you brought it out last week, when we was watching the with what's his name?
With Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
Putin said numerous times he went to America. He went to America to try and join NATO. And each time he went, they put him down. They said, nah, we can't do that. Nah, we don't, you can't join. You can't join. And then they made a deal. He said, he tell them, don't come east. And 5 times they start doing it in different countries.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, yo, with that, and then with the whole play in Ukraine, where the Ukraine had a sitting president or prime minister, and they basically formed a coup right in parliament and kicked him out.
I remember.
You understand? That was in 2014, I think.
Yeah, that was real close after the Georgia Russia conflict.
Yeah,
but that Georgia Russia conflict was the last straw for Russia. They actually sent tanks in there, and they was like, "Listen, there will be no Georgia to fight over," and that's how America backed off of Georgia. But after that, shortly after that, you had that whole taking of power in Ukraine, in Kiev.
Because they had a sitting president.
Mm-hmm.
They went in there and strong arm him and got him out. And
but
what
they
they
wanted
were
the
doing
move to go on his doorstep.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Donetsk were one of those cities that is about a few kilometers away from Russia. They didn't want that situation, and Ukraine was dropping bombs on them, and Russia, Putin used that as an excuse to basically go in. Your oppressor. He always tried to, try to play he's a hero when he was going in anyhow. He could not allow it. You know what I mean?
Probable cause.
Yeah.
Make it a plausible reason. Look for any reason to make it, to make him blameless. But that's the game they're playing. That's the game they're playing, and we don't want to be caught up in it, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We can't get caught up in that. Just like with the Palestinian and Israel, we cannot be caught up in that. Because this whole Palestinian and Israel war is good in a way where Black people, Hispanic and Native Indians, we should realize this went on in our slavery. Nations sat by and watched us pick cotton, cut sugar cane. You understand? Sat by and watched America and England and Spain and France raped us, abuse us. You understand? They sat back and watch it. Nobody came to our help. None.
Yeah.
You understand? And now you're wondering why nobody ain't going to help the Palestinian people. Yeah. You're wondering why? You understand? Them Palestinians is Arabs, right? You got Arabs country around. You know why they ain't going to help? Because America paid off all of them. You understand?
And buy and watch.
Yeah, because you have Saudi Arabia right next door to them, Jordan. You have all the Arab countries right next to them. You can imagine you in a country with your kids and your family, and I sitting by and watching them getting picked off one by one. I was paid off to sit back and watch it. You understand? I was paid off. Egypt paid off. Egypt getting money from America. Egypt getting weapons from Israel. So they're gonna sit by and watch it. Just like everybody got paid off to sit back and watch us do slavery. You understand? So now we gotta wake up and realize that the earth is against us, because nobody cried for us that they're crying for the Palestinians, and we still going through it today.
Yeah,
so
and we'll join the fight for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Got a few questions. Go ahead.
Captain Narthak, if I may, that intensifies the understanding that money is the root of all evil, because they're accepting money. And then in turn, we act as these other nations in these Christian church, and these pastors, taking $90,000 from old women. Like, we're in the spirit of these heathens, trying to be like them. Like, that's so heavy what you just said. So, like it, sir. I yield.
So Officer Maccabia was asking, where can I find that precept, Russia being pulled back? Ezekiel 38
and 4.
It's probably 38 and 4. Ezekiel 38 and 4. Maccabia, somebody could read it real quick. We ain't gonna break it down. We could just read it so the brother could hear. Cause I think you pretty much broke it down before. You know what I mean? Ezekiel 38 and 4. No sweat. I think there's another Russia story too.
Huh?
I think there's another Russia story too, right? About the missiles.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get to that one. And then we had to talk about these cops that get blown away in DC. Listen. Now, like you said something some years ago, brother. And listen, it's a few things. I ain't forgetting them things. You said, as this society fall, the first place the public is going to turn their anger is going to be on police officers. And as it's falling, you're seeing it happen right now. And these cops could have lost their lives, fully lost their lives, and it's just a sign of the times, brother. Sign of the times. Go ahead, Sohab, if you don't mind.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38 and verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yep, that's exactly what you need, because he turning them back to war, because they was on their way to peace. And that thing that you go look up, that Georgia-Russia conflict, that was the last straw. After that, Russia was not having it. America tried to peel Georgia right off of them, peel them right off and set up bases. They went in there and let off some tanks, brother, and America backed the hell off. And shortly after, this thing happened with Ukraine. So what you see in here, as I was saying, is absolutely biblical. You're not cooling Putin down. You're not out in that fire. You're not stopping that train. The Lord is behind that train. The Lord sanctioned that thing. That ain't happening. Most you could do now is prepare for impact. Most you could do now.
And it's proof too is almost like when you're dealing with Esau, he needs an enemy. Otherwise, it's to him, he just needs, something to unalive. You understand? And the Lord, knows exactly how to rile them up. You know what I mean? So, let them go at it, man.
Hell yeah.
We just had to sit back and just, watch. Don't go and join no military. Come join the Lord's military here under Commander General Yahanna. That's the army you gotta come and join. You understand? And prepare yourself and get ready, because hard times is coming. I'm telling you.
That's
so
right.
Go
ahead.
Also on that precept, if you go to verse 3, that's where it's proven that is Russia. For you brothers and sisters that don't know, we biblical in these scriptures. And when it talks about Meshech, when you look that up in the Bible dictionary, it'll tell you that is the origin of the Russian and Slavic people by definition. So
Yep. Yep. Listen, like he's saying, is we for sure biblical in it. You know what I mean? That's exactly, you know, who those people are because of the land, right? Because when you go back to Genesis with Meshach and Tubal, those would be the sons of Japhet. They would be Japhetic people because Japhetic people own the land. But like what Captain Kwame was saying, once they moved Japhet out, they took over the land, and now they are now Meshach and Tubal and Gog and Magog, just like George Washington them now is the American, when Red Cloud and Sitting Bull is the real American, if you want to look at it like that. They moved the people off the land and took over. So what he's saying is absolutely truthful and factual, but you don't have to believe us. You know what I mean? At all. You know what I mean? Just, you know, go try to talk to Navalny. And nigga have a prison called Arctic the Polar Wolf. Damn.
the thing that's one of the vicious prison you could be in. They say that's one of the hardest prison in Russia you could be in. Say that oppressor went for a walk, came back, and fell out and never woke up. So like here.
Yeah, man.
Fall out after a walk and never woke up after that.
Listen, go ahead. Doubt us. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think 12 Williams said with their cameras. There probably was. Putin probably live stream it, but it's for him alone.
Right.
He probably live stream it, but it's for him alone. Who is this? Kapab Banathi Howard Aslaki say, if I may, can you explain why the Most High chose the second child and not the first? I'm referring to situations like Ishmael, and Isaac, Esau, and Jacob. Now, I thought you want to take it?
If you want, yeah.
Anybody want to take a crack at it? Let's keep it short too, because we wrap up on the time.
Hey, you want me to take it?
Yeah, if you want to. If not, I'll go ahead with it.
Okay. I'll take you know what I mean. I'll hit on it. You know what I mean. The Lord chose, you know what I mean, Isaac. You understand? Because I believe it was Abraham, and what's the woman named Sarah, and the woman what's the other woman name? Hagar. Yeah. Hagar was being, you know what I mean, what you would call a bee, you know what I mean, to Sarah. And the Lord decided, you know what? I'm going to raise up a son, you know what I mean, with you and Sarah, and call him Isaac. So the Lord chose Isaac. You understand? Yeah. Just like with Jacob and Esau, the Lord chose Jacob. You understand? And you could find the precept in Romans 9 and I believe 22, where he's told you why he did what he did. Yep. He chose Jacob because he loved Jacob. You understand? That's why he chose Jacob. Choose Isaac because he loved Isaac. Right? And now to really get deeper into it and who Isaac is, you're gonna have to come in class and ask the question again. You know what I mean? And you'll get the breakdown on Isaac, who Isaac really was. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Like the Lord gonna choose who he wants. And the Lord wanted Isaac. Abraham wanted Ishmael. Ishmael is the child of the flesh. Isaac is the child of the promise. You know what I mean? The Lord wanted Jacob. It tells you in the Bible how Isaac liked Esau because he was a hunter and he was out in the field and all that type of shit. But the Lord wanted Jacob. So he chose Jacob. You get the point? But the Lord gonna choose who he want to choose. You know what I mean? It's fine to have, you know, the firstborn rights. But sometimes the firstborn has rights due to no control of his own. He just come first. And there's times where you look at the firstborn and you be like, we will have no family if you remain first.
So like you can
go ahead, please.
Check the private message for me.
Okay, no sweat. Yeah.
So like
you know what I mean? Yeah, you're good. Right? the Lord now he could, you know, he look and realize who needs to be there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Who needs to be in that seat to make sure his will gets done, which is what needs to happen. His will has to get done, and that's, you know, how it happens. You get the point? As with anything, you know, you get chosen. So that's it. I think that's it on all the questions so far. Let's get them rockets, man, before we run out of time. Say again?
I was gonna say if I can add really quick to it, just if you don't mind.
Come on, please. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just to further as well, like you gotta also remember the Lord has a favorite of everything. So the Lord decided to make that choice to choose Isaac over Ishmael. You know what I mean? There's all different type of nations, all different type of fowls, all different type of flowers on the earth. The Lord had a favorite flower. He got a favorite bird. He got a favorite people. And he just decided that to be his line of people. And sometimes we have to get out of the mind state of our ways of understanding and remember the Lord's ways are his ways and not your ways. So like,
yeah, definitely. Like the Lord ain't getting tied up into no system. He gonna do what he want to do. He gonna do what he want to do. You know, Isaac comes second. Okay, he gonna be first. Judah come fourth. He gonna be first. Get the point?
Sir.
Christ come last. He's last king. He's the first. You get the point? Like he gonna do what he want to do because he's alive. He's something that the other nations don't know about, which is having a God who is actually alive. You get the point? Whatever they write in the Quran, that shit ain't changing for nothing. He has stolen a baby. He has stolen that baby. The Lord can come and say, "Stop! I say this right here." And that's that. And get the point. So, on to the Rockets. On to the Rockets.
Come on. What to know about Russia's nuclear ambitions in space? Russia is preparing to potentially deploy a nuclear weapon in space that could threaten other satellites, raising a national security concern that has overtaken Washington this week after a cryptic warning from the House Intelligence Committee chair. It remains unclear what the weapon actually is. White House spokesperson John Kirby said the weapon was related to an anti-satellite capability that Russia is developing, but stressed the system was not yet deployed. Russia's pursuit of this particular capability is troubling, but there is no immediate threat to anyone's safety, Kirby said. We're not talking about a weapon that can be used to attack human beings or cause physical destruction here on Earth. While the Biden administration has refrained from sharing any further details on the covert weapon system, reports indicate it is a nuclear weapon capable of taking out other satellites.
What's this dude now? What's this devil here now? That nigga flexing in his glory, man. That nigga, he pulled something from don't be a menace while drinking juice in the hood.
Right.
He could start up. I bet you he opened that speech. He opened that speech with, "Do we have a problem here? Do we have a problem? Huh?"
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he goddamn, man, he got the Russian flags in the back. He got and that's one missile now with like 4 power missiles attached to it. Good night. I think last year or the year before they came up with some rocket or some missile called Satan 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. The on the side of the missile marks Satan and the number 2 arc.
that mean that droid bringing the fire.
Oh, listen, he's like, listen. He's like, y'all go ahead and write names on bullets. I'll put a name on a missile.
Yeah,
that'll be the end of that.
So they was like, Putin was like, America, you think y'all the devil? We devils too. We gonna show you. you ain't gonna out devil us. We Satan too.
Listen, he probably anoint the damn missile with vodka too. Huh? Bless the missile with some vodka. Go ahead.
Kawakan. Russia's history of developing nuclear weapons and anti-satellite weapons, ASAT, offers some clues as to what it may be and the danger it poses to the U.S. Any weapon system capable of attacking a satellite can be considered an ASAT. A kinetic ASAT is one that physically collides with a satellite to destroy it, or it can strike one by detonating ballistic missiles or explosives nearby. Non-kinetic ASATs render satellites useless with electronic warfare, cyber attacks, or lasers. ASAT testing began during the Cold War when both the US and the Soviet Union developed the capabilities for attacking other satellites, though they did not develop nuclear weapons in space.
Yo, hey, listen, they could talk about this is to knock out satellites. This is to fight Christ. Like, that's what this is. Like, why would you need to launch a nuclear weapon for who? Who you trying to unalive? Who you trying to put down? This is to fight the king. This is to fight the king, and boy, they're gonna be in for. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering, you know, if in the fourth dimension the Lord have some kind of, you know, high level media team, brother, because I want to see, you know, when Christ come in the scene and stop the missile with the hand. I don't know what he gonna do. He gonna do some crazy shit. A jet gonna be coming. He do this here, rah, and the jet ripping too. He gonna do some crazy thing. I want to be able to see the might and the power, because these nations, they're flexing out. They're flexing with their might and their power, brother. And I want to see when the Lord come and humble them, bro. Humble them down and put everything in the dirt, in the dust, and destroy everything and crush it. And rip tongues from mouth, because of course, you know, they can't believe it's a Negro doing all of this shit. A few tongues gonna end up on the ground over it. And it's gonna be right. Look at all this might and power people have, man. Yeah, people can't eat, can't pay their bills. Children can't get medicine. You building money, testing nuclear missiles, wasting missiles, you know, all kind of nonsense y'all doing with resources. Only Lord come and destroy this thing, man.
Right.
How much $1 billion this damn missile cost? You know how much people could eat off of that shit?
Lifetime.
Come on, man.
So, like I said, the arrogance of them, like the arrogance of them to even, like you said, put Satan 2 on there, or the different type of names, like that in itself is spiritual. Like when you see to think about it, and you look at the bigger picture, you know, all these naysayers that say we don't know what we're talking about, or the Bible is not factual, then why do they have to go and do what they do? Why do I have to say the things to say and put those displays on missiles and, you know, things like this? Because they know who they're working for. When are you going to realize who you need to be working for? So like you.
Exactly, boy. That's ridiculous right there. Any morning?
Live, sir.
That's about it.
Yeah,
so they're scared because he ready to put that thing up there.
Kawakan, sir. If I may too, there's been a lot of conspiracy theorists on the TikTok side of things, mainly white American men, where they are this thing, how they talk about the incoming blackout, and how they believe that either between Russia and China that there's going to be some type of cyber attack that is going to take out the entire grid. Not to say that this won't happen, but of course, Esau, he's a conspiracy theorist and he believes everybody's against him. And so just seeing this is definitely stoking the more and more the fears of these oppressors, and just knowing the capability of certain missiles, that this would be the way you would do that. Launch a nuclear weapon into the lower atmosphere, and versus detonated it in lower atmosphere, and it has the I forgot the term for it, the capability of now taking out all the electronics. Say it again.
EMPD.
What? Yeah, concept. EMP,
Mhm.
right? That's the same type of effect it will have. So, like stories like this, there's no telling what's going to happen. But I know it definitely. Esau, he watching this close, and they buying up bunkers like crazy. They buying all the little storage, dry food. I see more and more commercials of that emergency supply rations. And, and on TikTok, it's hilarious, but it really is signaling the end of what the Bible says. Like they know this is the end. Like Revelation say, they know their time is short, and they getting angrier and angrier, and they just know it's in the air.
Yep, skinny coming. Skinny coming. I'm trying to tell you, skinny coming, boy. This is I think this is the Satan 2 here. Say why Russia has introduced nuclear missile called Satan 2. What happened to Satan 1? What happened to the first Satan? That's what the hell I want to know. What happened to number 1? Go ahead.
They telling you they are Satan, sir. We're Satan too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like they ain't playing, man. They ain't playing. I listen now. They like to talk about black people. We so ghetto and stuff. We go on the damn TikTok and the Snap and flash our guns. They're flashing the missiles on the media. Who ghetto?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, who really gets over this shit now? They talk about, you got that extendo, and why you need a 30 round drum? Why you need a missile named Satan 2?
Right.
God damn it, man.
And nuclear taboo too.
God damn it, man. You mad because a nigga got, the drum with the nipples on it, or the extendo. And you gotta talk about what does one person need a double drum, something. They're stupid and ghetto, this ghetto stuff. Look at them on the internet. Look at you.
Nah.
What are you doing? Boy, time for this place to go, man.
And they're crying too that I think in that same article that Putin and them more advanced with the whole hypersonic missile system. They're crying about that too. So this here is really Russia may have it, but this is a cry for America government to give more money to the military, basically. At the end of everything here, this is what they're going to do. There's more military, more money going to the military.
Right.
Yeah, I think Russia going to be ahead of them. I think at one time Russia had one of them jets that they couldn't touch, right? Or probably still do.
They still do.
They still do. I think it's outside of that Concorde. Is the Concorde that they retire, right? That is not the Concorde.
Yeah, the Concorde is
the black jet that is, could go so fast that America retired because it was too expensive. Not the stealth bomber. It's the big long one that looked like a Concorde.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, like the X-Men plane.
Yeah, it looked just like the X-Men plane. So what? It looked just like, I think it was too expensive to start flying with the gas. They retired that shit, but they say that shit, the range on that and the speed is ridiculous. I think it breaks the sound barrier, and it could go really from America to Russia easily. And it's one of them planes you don't have to do no refueling. Right. But I think Russia has some jet that's just ridiculous in the air too.
Yeah.
So they for sure coming up. They're flexing on each other with them weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, let's get them DC cups before we roll out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you all have it.
Calm. DC man who police say shot 3 officers in custody after 13-hour standoff. A suspect is in custody Wednesday night after police said he shot and wounded 3 DC officers who were attempting to serve an arrest warrant and then holed up inside his home. The standoff lasted around 13 hours and started when police approached the house on Hannah Place in Southeast DC around 7:30 a.m.
Right. So La Pura Neta says the blackbird to water. The blackbird. I think that's what anybody could go look it up. It looked just like that X-Men plane, and it's absolutely ridiculous in the air.
Right.
Go ahead.
Calm. Police say 46-year-old Julius James of Southeast refused to come outside, then shot at officers through the door as they tried to enter his home. The shooting sparked a massive police presence in the area, closing down several nearby streets and forcing some nearby schools into lockdowns.
And listen, there's a school, I think, across the street. When they say nearby, they ain't talking about like blocks away. And I think the school is like down near across the street.
Right.
And for anybody who, know DC, like DC for sure has been wild over the past 2 years. There's definitely been an increase in activity in gun violence or gun related activity for sure.
Right.
But blazing cops out, that's kind of even strange for all the activity that's going on. But it's definitely a sign of the times we're in. It's definitely a sign of the times like that. Like, I mean, he put them 3 cops down now. They, one of them, 2 of them was walking after. One of them, he had to be in the gurney. Even after where they because they did a whole parade for them the day after. I think this happened Wednesday? Thursday morning. The cops is released from the hospital, and all the cops in the district line up and they clapping them, and like a guard of honor. But one of them, I think, is a brother. He on the gurney, he ain't even walking because he doesn't get hit. The other 2, I think, they walking. They got bandages, got shot in their arm or wherever, and they could walk. But he get the wrong end. You know what I mean? And it's bad, and he could have finished them off.
Right.
This brother here could have finished them off. You know what I mean? Any more?
Come. It says DC Police Chief Pamela Smith said officers went to the residence to serve an arrest warrant on animal cruelty charges to James on behalf of the Humane Rescue Alliance around 7:30 a.m. Wednesday when James began shooting at them through the door. This morning, our officers attempted to make contact with the individual inside the residence in order to execute the arrest warrant, Smith said. The individual refused to come outside as officers attempted to gain entry. The individual fired upon them. 3 officers who were shot were taken to the hospital. A 4th officer was treated at the scene for minor injuries. Smith said all 4 officers are in stable condition and expected to recover. James is charged with animal cruelty, and charges relating to the shooting and barricade are pending, according to the police.
So he done light them up through the door.
Damn.
Like it's a brother, sir?
Yeah, I believe it's a brother. It looked like he was breeding dogs in the house. No, I think they don't have no evidence that it was cruelty, but they say it was like the dogs in the house was in danger. That's what they're saying. They said the dogs was looking toward. But I believe this warrant stems from some incident that happened last year where some dude was punching down on a puppy. Right? I think they're saying this is him, and now they're coming to arrest him for it. I don't know if it's actually him or not. You get the point? Whatever it is that's going on. If he was paranoid, I don't know what it was, but he was not about to let them dogs go nowhere.
You got to be in some type of mental disturbance to shoot at the police. This is crazy.
Yep, in that manner. And once again, that's more the mental health thing is coming out. But again, signs of the times, like you're gonna go into a place like some of these cops is always talking about they don't have a respect in the public, and you don't know the stress that cops go through. There's a certain amount of neutrality that police officers enjoy that others like and citizens would not enjoy. But as this place starts falling, the respect that comes with the territory is going to fall too. And in fact, blatant disrespect is going to start to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just going to start to happen.
Salaki, sir. Because, and especially with this thing that's going on in DC, there's been a lot of misinformation going on too with this Bowser Pinto plan. But definitely this new plan, this bill that they're trying to put out, the Secure DC Omnibus Bill. Many people have probably heard about it already, or if not, it's Muriel Bowser and Councilwoman Pinto's plan to secure DC. And they have, I had to go and read the actual bill. I was going to make a video on it. I'm still going to make a video. Please. But I was watching a lot of the videos on TikTok, and a lot of people are putting a lot of misinformation out there. So I went to go read the actual bill. And the bill is still pretty bad on what they're trying to do. Pretty much they're targeting young Black youth in the city. Just the way the bill was written, a lot of the things that it mentions.
The language.
Yeah, the language. Yeah, it's very.
Salaki Kazak. This comes from them small hats. Don't care what they say. This comes from them small hats because there was a short video that was played where Small Hat was saying that their issue is these young Black youths, and this is them. It might have our face in it, might have our people coming out and, you know what I mean, on how to put it, on embracing it. But in the background is them Small Hat that pushing these brothers and sisters to the forefront and telling them this is going to help save the lives of your other kids that haven't been shot as yet or unalive as yet. Right. You understand? But this is them Small Hats attacking these young Black youths.
Kind of, sir. No, you absolutely. You too, Cap. You absolutely right too. It goes to the whole thing about how they're trying to revitalize, and I not only that, sir. I think you right on the money in saying that. I personally think this is an attack against the UPK because I think when just reading the bill, the focus of it is. They had different news stories coming out about Chinatown, the businesses, and Chinatown, the open air drug market in Chinatown, and how many businesses are leaving Chinatown. And now, especially since the center with a what's it called, the Verizon Center,
right?
Now they talking about moving it to Virginia. They saying that this is going to take away so much money and commerce in that area, on top of the Black youth open air drug market. But the one thing that they're not saying is, and you know, maybe I might be a conspiracy theorist on it, but I think they're trying to find a way to stop us from speaking in Chinatown. Now I could be reaching, but you know, they're just a whole limiting the gatherings. They have the DC police have the right to establish a drug zone where they can cordon off a section of a block for 5 days maximum, whatever they deem to be a drug zone. Like, the language is real broad. And a lot of people that's reading, a lot of critics, even oppressors, are saying this is a slippery slope into fascism. This is a real slippery slope the way y'all wrote this bill.
That's where it's gonna have to go. You know what I mean? And shit. If they try to find a way to shut us down, they're gonna have better success trying to find a drop of water in the ocean. I'm gonna tell you that straight up and down. They're gonna have more success with that shit. That ain't happening, and it ain't gonna go the way how they think it's gonna go. But the bill is very, from what I read before. No, I ain't go into it further because I honestly didn't think the shit was going to pass. I don't understand how the thing passed. And quite frankly, it passing lets me know those people on that DC council, they all need to go.
Yeah.
They all need to be, go. They all need to be voted out or whatever, and get some young, fresh blood up in there who have, more practical solutions to something, instead of turning, DC into the Gaza and the goddamn the state of Israel. Because that's what you're really doing. You're trying to draw a line socially down in the city and have a certain amount of people oppressed with it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. And to see the increase in crime that's going to happen because they don't understand the times people living in. That's not going to stop anything. It's
right.
Absolutely not going to stop anything. Go ahead, please.
If I may, not, I know brothers are from DC or live in DC, and from an outsider looking in, because I'm all the way here on the West Coast, I see here that this like story we're bringing now is also a ploy. They're gonna ride the coattail of this story. But for me, just hearing and kind of surveying what goes on the internet or what populates in the news articles, there's a lot of political crimes that are going on as far as unaliving people in that area, because there's a lot of undercover things that are being swept under the rug, but there's no bill to attack that. So the fact that they're making this a point to leave an open language in regards to being able to have this bill interpreted and shifted in ways that benefit them should definitely be something that we as a people recognize and have a heightened awareness of, because these two individuals are going to be the detriment for Black and brown people in that area. And I know right now we already dealing with the overrunning of all the heathens coming in that area, from what I understand. So the black and brown people that are left, man, they trying to really wipe us out if this is what's going on. So
brother, it's damn near there's no like they push most Black people to the outskirts. Most Black people is living on the outskirts right now, and it's getting thinner and thinner. Meanwhile, more housing is going up in DC, but prime expensive housing, like an apartment in downtown DC is about $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month. Our apartment, and that's probably a 1-bedroom. So which lets these devils that working in DC getting paid way more than you on the same job, because you can't afford that as a mortgage. They're paying that for an apartment. You understand? They're paying that for an apartment. And you were so right with the political stuff, because just with last month, some dude who was working in Trump campaign get laid out in DC.
That's what I'm saying.
This last month. Yeah, somebody get laid out. I think about 6 or 8 weeks ago. Carjackers jacked the FBI agent, pull him out the damn car, pull her out the car, take the damn car. They when they realize it's an FBI car, they drop the car in the alley and roll to hell out. You get the point? Then what it was last week, an FBI agent steals an FBI contractor.
Yeah,
steals the FBI agent's car to get his access passes, because through some encrypted email, he gets word that somebody trying to kill him. And he's locked out the FBI, so he steals the car to get the info to go in there and see who it is trying to run him down. Now, they ain't talking about all of that. They ain't talking about all of that, like what you're saying. So the thing is definitely getting to a point where it's like, what the hell is going on? Not to mention, right in Chinatown where the camp is, right across the street, there's a Walgreens. I don't know if you all remember. People in DC would know that Walgreens been getting hit probably once a month. I think last month, some dude walked in there with a gun. Oh, he took the gun from the security and robbed the store and rolled to hell out. Guess what we're finding out now? The manager and the dude who robbed in the damn store working together. I mean, this is what I got to see. I think Muriel Bowser and this Pinto woman is suffering from SBW. And they really need to just relinquish all power to Command and General Yahanna, because he gonna run the city way better than they can. And he ain't gonna have to, quarantine nobody and use certain language that gives police, a license to, further abuse people. That's what I think. Go ahead, come on, Claude.
That's funny, because I remember when that Walgreens first opened. I think we was at the camp and we were talking. We was out there teaching, and there was some young brothers out there, and they was talking. They was, we had brought out about the drugs, how drugs was, in DC in the 80s and so forth. And we let them know. We said, y'all brothers, y'all in a trap. You're not getting money like they was getting in the 80s anyway.
I remember that, Kahan. You was the one bringing that up. Go ahead.
And I pointed right over to that Walgreens. I said, you want to know who your new competition is? that Walgreens right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
That's your new car. I said that's where it's going to the pill game. And they were laughing at first, but then they looked at serious because they know, you know what I'm saying? We ain't that far. We from the same place. We ain't that far. We from the ghetto. So we know what's going on. That's the plug. Walgreens, CVS. That's your competition right there. You know what I'm saying? So we let them know right there. The drug market is still there, but you gotta have a degree to be a drug dealer now, and a white coat.
Dang.
So like I yield.
No, you right there. You absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, let's hold on, huh? I'm trying to get the article for you all here, or at least the headline, just to show you all what the hell is really going on in this place while they're trying hard.
Right.
Hopefully I could get it before it's in.
Hey Cap, it's like they got the Washington Wizards and the Bullets all in one zone.
Oh, listen, the Bullets are about to come back. Right. They said the Wizards and the Capitals going to Virginia. It's whatever sports team playing there is going to be the Bullets.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The Washington Hollow Points. I mean? This is it here. This is 4 days ago, February 14th. Store manager charged in robberies at Chinatown Walgreens. This is across the street from the camp. But you know, if you think you're going to cloak something, some sort of language to cripple the Lord's work, you're gonna have a sad thing coming, and it ain't gonna be from us. It ain't gonna be from us. We're gonna be in the Chatham County Fairgrounds celebrating the Lord's Passover, and you're gonna get caught in your own deceits. You're gonna get caught up in your own language, in your own deceits. I think part of that bill act, they say the cops is free to chase people now and use deadly force.
Wow.
Sir.
When before it was illegal to chase anybody on bike, on car, chases through the city was illegal. It was absolutely illegal to do it. Now they're saying if the cops deem it necessary because you just too erratic, they could just put you out. And that'll be that.
So that means you're gonna be able to get shot in the back.
You get shot in the back, front, back, and side to side.
Like they don't have no rules and regulations. I mean, you carry a firearm, you know you're supposed to follow certain rules. They just wipe the firearm rules and regulations out of the picture. Then that's crazy.
Listen, that's why I thought it wouldn't pass. Like, I'm absolutely shocked this thing gets through. I'm absolutely shocked. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
That's a lot
of what they're gonna do with it. Go ahead, Priest.
And like it's heavy bringing it out because they see these cities see where they know where it's going to go nationally with this war, and this so-called election is going to put it in turmoil even more. But they trying to lock these cities down. They know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? And to be frank, they really want to shut down social media because we talking too much. We getting too many ideas. We putting our heads together. You know what I'm saying? We putting our money where our mouth is. So now they like, look, if we don't lock these, like the scriptures say about Egypt, we got to deal wisely with them because lest any war come, they may join it. They may join, the enemy. Yeah. And we all know. Remember what the UPK taught you, brothers and sisters out there that's listening, that you are always, even though you have American citizenship, if you here in this country and you Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, you are always a potential enemy of the state. Always.
Easily. Absolutely easily. You know what I mean? So it's so much, so much going on. I'm sure stuff like this going on in all these little cities, in these little counties all over the states. We're only hearing about it in DC because it's the nation's capital. But they're probably passing, laws and bills like this in some midnight vote, in some, small city in Arkansas or, somewhere in Arizona.
They definitely did it in Mississippi, Cap. They got a whole new judge. They set up a whole judicial, like a front judicial thing in Mississippi. So there's some draconian stuff you seeing that's going on here.
Listen,
this
man,
ain't even democracy. What they talking about?
It's gonna help us. It's gonna help force us to self-segregate at this point, because now we only gonna be free to walk in our own places, and if we don't want to be under them, we're gonna have to set up situations where we're gonna police ourselves. So this it's going to get way difficult. But boy, if you lock in with the Lord and tie yourself to the truth, tie yourself to this body, this could be, this could be
damn right.
It could be a come on.
If I could, that's why they need to make their way down to North Carolina for the Passover.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Right. With Command and General Yahanna, hosted by Captain Nathak and the brothers and sisters in Carolina. That's why they got to get, because we got things that we got to discuss. The welfare of our people. A lot of people that have skills and resources and things. You should come down to the Passover. Have a seat with Commander General Yahanna. Bring the plan. Bring all the things that you think that could work and the information that you know. Bring it before the seat of Commander General Yahanna, man, the generals, and let's sit down and let's plot this thing out, man. We got so much we can do now. Right. You understand? The Lord is he's starting to loosen some of these shackles and the yoke off our neck a little bit. He's starting to loosen this thing, man. We getting a little. We still in captivity, but our scope and the broad of our reach now is so much further now.
Yeah.
So like I yield.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, Marquise Bankroll said running from the police will be charged as a felony. Listen, brother, come to the Passover like Captain Gunn said, man. Pay that $200, man. Come on down, support the truth. Pay your tithes. 10% of all the increase and earnings must come in to the priests and prophets of the Lord. Send them in. ISUPK.com. Go and pay your tithes. Pay your Passover free, man. Don't be slack with your duties and your responsibilities. Get it all handled. Lock in. Now is not the time to play. Playtime was over, man. Playtime was over. It's almost like COVID was the bell that ended recess. You know what I mean? We downhill now. We running downhill now. Get on board and lock in, because you're getting ready for that ride. The Lord is going to turn this place upside down. Lord Allah, we'll be back next week. Come down to North Carolina, Feast of Purim, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, man. They're going to be doing it big down there in Charlotte. Right. And where in South Carolina, Naza?
Greenville,
South Carolina. The openers in Greenville, the closing is in Charlotte, and then camp in Charlotte Saturday. Come on down, man. Everybody gonna be down there. Make it down there, man. Come on through. We're gonna warm up the Carolinas for that Passover, man.
That's right.
April 20th, boy. We're gonna be flooding. We're gonna be like ants on the field, man.
That's right.
Ants on the field celebrating the Lord's Passover. Pay your tithes, support the truth. Look out for Commander General Yahanna this Monday live on Black Watch with the Heavy Hitting Crew live at 9 p.m. Check him out. Share, like, and subscribe. I want to say to all the brothers and sisters that have been supporting, and all the captains and officers that come through every Saturday night. Captain Nathak holding down the Carolinas as usual. You know what I mean? Captain Kahan holding down the South Texas, Louisiana, all over. Captain Quam holding down the Pacific Northwest and West Coast, man. Right there in tandem with Captain Gadal Hasalakia, Officer Kazak Ahmad.
That's right.
Officer Sawapia Allah always helping us out, man. Next week, Lord alone, weather permitting, man. See you all in Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.